Let me ask you a question. What would be the purpose of enacting tariffs on a country like Canada?
On Canada, well, you want to protect certain industries, and Canada also has a lot of tariffs on the United States, and to get them to have a trade agreement with the United States on that. I don't think it's.
Didn't we have free trade?
I don't think
with
it's
Canada?
I don't think.
What was the United States Mexico Canada agreement?
That wasn't in effect when Donald Trump took office.
Who negotiated the United States Mexico Canada agreement?
Look, I don't think it is not a good thing.
Who negotiated?
It's not a good.
Do you know what it is?
It is not a.
Do you know
good
what it
thing
is?
when
You don't know what it is,
countries
do you?
Yes, I do.
What is it? Explain it.
Yeah, it was a trade agreement between the United States that overturned the previous NAFTA agreement.
And so what did it do?
It established the parameters.
So who negotiated it?
It was Donald Trump.
So Donald Trump negotiated the USMCA.
Yeah, we need to
free trade agreement that was governing over the United States.
It wasn't free trade. We need to renegotiate these trade agreements.
What does NAFTA stand for?
North American Free Trade Agreement. That's what
was
before Donald Trump.
Like free trade.
Yeah, again, that was before. That wasn't in effect when Donald Trump took over.
And so then yes, it was. And so, well, first of all, the USMCA was effectively the same thing as NAFTA.
No, it wasn't.
And so what changed?
I mean, the trade parameters changed, but like I said, I don't think it's a good thing.
Name one.
What do you mean?
What changed?
I mean, for starters, lumber. The way that we trade lumber with Canada changed.
How?
I don't know the actual intricacies of the USMCA, but what I will say is I don't think it's a good thing.
So we have free trade with Canada.
I don't think it's a good thing when countries like
So why did you
EU,
go and put tariffs on a country that we had free trade with? What gets better than free?
Well, I guess with Canada, there's also the.
I mean, I didn't know that.
There's also the added part.
There's
also the added part with Canada that they were spraying propaganda into the United States, which isn't a good thing. That we have an ally spreading propaganda into the United States.
That has nothing to do with what.
Yes, it is.
I'm just asking you.
Tariffs are a means.
Why did you put tariffs on a country that we had free trade with? It was free.
Yeah, because they were pumping propaganda into the United States.
They were pumping propaganda into the United States. How?
What do you mean how?
How?
It was like during the World Series, Canada propaganda to the United States. Of course, we're going to put tariffs on them for that. We
shouldn't have. They showed a commercial of Ronald Reagan in his own words. So that means that
have other countries.
So wait a second.
Allies
so wait a second. So wait a second. So you just made Americans pay more for everything that comes from Canada because they showed a commercial you didn't like? That sounds like being a snowflake, if you ask me.
We should be holding our allies accountable.
Why are conservatives so sensitive?
The United States of America.
This is what happens when you have conservative government. They're so sensitive. They're over here raising your prices because they had a commercial that you don't like.
Tariffs don't raise prices. There was just a study.
What?
I believe used Chicago that came out that tariffs actually don't raise the prices of goods.
Why would you go put tariffs on a country we had free FREE trade with?
I think that we have a strategic advantage of having our lumber industry here in the United States. I don't want to be reliant upon Canada for lumber.
What do to go and achieve that aim?
Yeah, it makes it more expensive for imports to come to the United States so that businesses can relocate back to America.
So now, if your disagreement was tariffs on lumber, your answer now is for tariffs on everything.
Again, you want to establish leverage for future trade agreements. That's how trade agreements work. That's how negotiations work.
And the leverage is to go and charge for something you are getting largely for free.
Again, because you want to have a strategic advantage of making it in the United States, obviously.
Free, and you've heard American businesses that does stuff with Canada as a result of that. The amount of trade that we've had for American companies that do business with Canada has decreased as a result of these policies. And now what's also happening is that Canada is now going all around the world to go look for other partners. It's why, for example, they're meeting with India, why they're meeting with the European Union. And when they go find these new partners, they're not going to want to go buy as much from the United States. So you know what these policies did because you guys were offended about a commercial? You sent our trade partners all the way around the world. You raised our prices as a result, and you screwed over American businesses. And that's not something that's good for the American people.